on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the Wraparound, where we're going to be breaking down the NHL action going down on Thursday, November 30th, 2023. Before we get into it, though, if you like this content, please make sure you drop a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Appreciate all the love and support for myself and the Wraparound and everything here at Pickdawgz. Now, if you're looking for my best bets on the board, make sure you head on over to Pickdawgz.com. Click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. We've had a lot of success over the last couple of months, the last 30 days or so on the 30-day leaderboard as well. Don't wait any longer. We didn't have a great day yesterday, but that just means the bounce back is coming back a little bit stronger. I really like what I have, the action that I have on the board, and the best value of all is to go with a long-term pass. You can check out any of the daily passes, but the long-term pass gets you access to all my premium plays daily. The longer you subscribe, the better the value. Well, let's make you guys some money with the holiday season around the corner. Gifts are going to be expensive, and you want to buy that special someone in your life something nice. So we can take care of it for you at Pick Dawgz Premium. Now, we've also launched the late breaking info all access pass. We're off to quite the run to start it off. Again, this is that elevated service for the high roller, the person that's betting $1,000 or more per game. The all access pass gets you added insight on the games that I'm betting, the games that I add throughout the day. Getting that late information is really, really important in sports nowadays, in sports betting, just with all the nonsense around load management, guys playing, not playing, playing when they're expected to sit and sitting when they're expected to play. I've also started weighting these plays as well. The top weighted plays on the board have been crushing it, getting big bettors their investments back and then some right out of the gate through the first couple of days. So if you want more information, text LBI to 775-636-7674. We'll get you guys hooked up there. But anyways, we got a full card of NHL action, 14 games on Thursday. You ready? I'm ready. Let's get into it. Our first game on Thursday takes us to the Amalie Arena, where the Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. And, the Tampa Bay Lightning, I said time and time again that I would probably be waiting, and the Tampa Bay Lightning would definitely be waiting for Andrei Vasilevskiy to come back into the lineup, as he really gives this team the best shot to win when it comes to the goaltending. But, he got rattled around in his last start against the Colorado Avalanche, and then, you had Jonas Johansson come in against the Arizona Coyotes. That didn't go as planned. They lost that game 3-1. And now you go up against a Pittsburgh team that, yes, has lost 5 of their last 7 games, but has been right in it in the majority of those losses. They've had 3 straight 1-goal losses. Sandwiched in the middle is a 3-2 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And like I said, they've been very competitive. And head-to-head, the Pittsburgh Penguins have won the last 4 meetings against the Tampa Bay Lightning. That includes a 5-4 overtime win with Vasilevskiy in goal at the end of last season, or in March of last year. So I just think the Penguins are holding some value here. I like the Lightning, and at prices like this, but I think that this is a spot where you can take a shot with the Penguins. So give me Pittsburgh on the money line at this one. Next, we had a Scotiabank Arena, where the Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Seattle Kraken in a matchup you don't see very often. You've only seen 4 all-time meetings between these two teams, and the Seattle Kraken were definitely a team last year that we talked about it before on the Wraparound that played their better hockey on the road, but it hasn't translated to this year. The Kraken 4-4-4 or 4-8 on the road this season, and not great. Now the Toronto Maple Leafs, they haven't been anything spectacular at home either. The majority of their home games, they've actually given up 4 goals or more this season, but they've been winning home games as of late. They do have a winning record at home at 6-4, and right now I just trust Toronto a lot more to get the job done here than I do Seattle. Seattle hasn't looked good in some of their recent losses. The Chicago Blackhawks, they got rattled at home by the Vancouver Canucks and the Calgary Flames. Toronto, they got a solid defensive performance against a really tough Florida Panthers team in their last matchup. I think that win is going to give the Leafs some confidence going into this one. Not a great price, maybe used as a parlay piece, but I'm going to take the Maple Leafs on the money line at -188. Up next, we're going to the TD Garden, where the Boston Bruins take on the San Jose Sharks, and no, that line is not a typo. The Boston Bruins are -480 favorites in this game, and, realistically, why wouldn't they be? The Boston Bruins are one of, if not the best team in the NHL. The San Jose Sharks are the worst. It's literally it's probably first versus worst in this one. And you have a Boston team that's 7-1-1 at home this season, and a San Jose Sharks team that is 0-9 on the road, both straight up and on the puck line. The last time we saw this Sharks team on the road, they got crushed 7-1 at the hands of the Seattle Kraken. And you look at the road numbers for San Jose this season, they are scoring 0.67 goals per game on the road this year. They're not even averaging 1 goal per game. To me, there's no other way to go here. This would have been, I'm not going to lie to you, this would have been a premium play for me with the Boston Bruins had the line not been minus 480 and had the puck line not been something ridiculous. I think I was seeing him around minus 160, minus 170. I'm still going to take the Bruins on the puck line here, only because the minus 1.5 puck line and not try to go extended, because the Boston Bruins, and I don't care who it is, it's whether it's the Sharks, Golden Knights, whoever. The Sharks have been winning a lot of games by 2. They have the firepower to win by so many more goals, but they sometimes just win games 3-1, 4-2. They were doing it early in the season against lesser teams. Thing they did against the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't love the minus 170 that's attached to a minus 1.5 puck line, but I think it's just the best way to go. It's the path of least resistance because I see the Bruins winning this one by at least a couple. You can take the Bruins extended lines at your own risk. I'm just not where I'm going to be. So give me the Bruins on the puck line in this one. Next, we're heading to the Little Caesars Arena where the Detroit Red Wings take on the Chicago Blackhawks, and the Red Wings on the second half of the back-to-back here after taking on the New York Rangers and really giving them all they could handle. We nailed it on the head yesterday on the wraparound. A 1-goal loss for the Detroit Red Wings. I had 4-3. It finished 3-2, but now you've got the Detroit Red Wings, even though they're at home, on the second half of a back-to-back, a spot that has not been kind to the Detroit Red Wings in the past, as Detroit just 16-36 in their last 52 games played on no rest. And, while it's not a crazy travel spot, they are still traveling from New York City to Detroit for this game. The Chicago Blackhawks are the rested team here, and they've been able to keep some teams fairly close as of late. They got the win over the Kraken. They got a win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. A couple of 1-goal losses as of late, and between these two teams, the last 2 meetings have been 1-goal games, each by the identical score of 4-3. So we took the Red Wings on the puck line yesterday, plus 1.5. We're going to change course and take the Blackhawks plus 1.5 in this one. Up next, we're heading to the Bell Center where the Montreal Canadiens take on the Florida Panthers. And, the Montreal Canadiens just had one of their, road trips. They just finished their West Coast road swing and then went to Columbus and got the win in Columbus 4-2. They've had some success as of late, but you got to do more for me than beat the Blue Jackets, the Sharks, and the Ducks in those 3 wins to really instill any sort of confidence for me going forward. Now, on the other side, you've got the Florida Panthers, who, have scored 1 goal or less in 3 of their last 4 games. To no one's surprise, all of those were losses. But usually this is a matchup where if both teams are struggling offensively, they can wake up. The last 8 meetings, 7-0-1 to the over. We've seen a bunch of these games go to towards double digits and even getting close to them, and I think we have another one that could brew out that way here. Now I will lean towards the over. I will go with the over 6.5. I also lean towards the Panthers on the puck line here. Whoever you think wins this game, take a minus 1.5 because the last I'm doing some quick math here. Last 6 meetings have seen the team that wins the game win by 2 or more goals. That includes a 10-2 win for Montreal. I think it was in the season finale. In Florida, I think it already clinched a playoff spot, so they didn't really have anything to play for at that point, and Montreal beat them 10-2. But, if you're seeing Florida scores of 5-2, 9-5, 6-2, 7-2. So I think we got a high-scoring game, and I think the Panthers win this one, so I'm going to take the Florida Panthers on the puck line as well here. Up next, we head to the Wells Fargo Center where the Philadelphia Flyers take on the New Jersey Devils in a battle of Metro Division rivals. And you've got the New Jersey Devils who have definitely cooled off from their hot start to the year, but they won back-to-back games to close out their homestand. They beat the Buffalo Sabres 7-2 and then the New York Islanders 5-4. And now the Devils head back out on the road where, they've been okay this season, 5-4. They played their better hockey on the road from a record standpoint. And they're going up against a Flyers team that, while picking up a win here and there, has still scored 1 goal in each of their last 3 games. We talked about it going into that Hurricanes game. I don't count one of the goals because it was a goal that was awarded because they won the shootout. So 2 goals in open play in Philadelphia's last 3 games. And as much as I like what Carter Hart has done, last time I checked, you got to be able to score goals to win a hockey game. And that's just not something that we're seeing the Philadelphia Flyers do consistently as of late. This head-to-head matchup has been back and forth in recent years, but I think we're getting the better team at a discounted price. I think the Devils, just given their recent struggles, has reduced the juice on this a little bit. I would expect this to be minus 160 or higher, so give me the Devils at minus 144 on the money line. Up next, we head to the PNC Arena, where the Carolina Hurricanes take on the New York Islanders. And an interesting matchup here. You know, the New York Islanders, I just want them ready to sort of give them some credit for maybe getting back on track while now they go and lose back-to-back games. The 1-0 shootout loss to the Flyers was a bit of a frustrating performance. And then they, regress to old habits where they're giving up goals again like it's going out of style. 3 third-period goals for the New Jersey Devils as the Islanders choked away a 4-2 lead. And that just means I still don't like their chances here. The Carolina Hurricanes, they've had goalie issues. They've had issues on the ice, off the ice, as Frederik Andersen still missing time with blood clots, and he's still their number one goaltender. And the Carolina Hurricanes, just seem to be taking the next man up mentality, and it's paid off for them. They've been winning games left and right. I know the road teams won the last 4 meetings between these two teams, but New York, 7-19 in the last 26 meetings between these two teams. 3-8 in the last 11 meetings in Carolina. The Carolina Hurricanes known for having one of the better home ice advantages in the NHL. I got to roll with the Carolina Hurricanes on the money line. This one, again, not a great price. You're going to see a couple of these on the wraparound today. Not a great price, maybe use it as a parlay piece. So give me the Carolina Hurricanes in this one. Next, we head to the Bridgestone Arena where the Nashville Predators take on the Minnesota Wild. And unfortunately, I was wrong about the Minnesota Wild. They got the new coach, Rub, and just like the Oilers did, they were struggling. They fired their coach. They brought in a new one, or they promoted someone to be the head coach. And the Oilers got, I think it was 2 or 3 straight wins out of the gate after that before regressing. Minnesota Wild did the same thing. They had lost 7 in a row and then picked up a 3-1 win over the St. Louis Blues. But I'm going back to the well here. Maybe call me a glutton for punishment. That game was at home that the Wild won 3-1, where they have played their better hockey this season. They're 4-4-2 at home, but now they head out on the road where they are 2-8, 2-6-2 to be exact this season. And I'm still concerned about the goaltending for the Minnesota Wild. Even after one good game, it's not going to change the fact that they've been giving up goals like it's going out of style. And the Wild are still 31st in the NHL, allowing 3.8 goals per game. The Predators are a lot more sound defensively and in goal. And head-to-head, the Wild are 1-10 in the last 11 meetings in Nashville, 3-12 in the last 15 meetings overall. I got to take the Preds to get the job done in this one and send the Wild back to old habits with another loss here. Up next, we head to the Enterprise Center where the St. Louis Blues take on the Buffalo Sabres. And the St. Louis Blues, we just talked about it with the Minnesota Wild game. It was a bad spot for the Blues, and I thought they would overcome it, but they didn't. But that's okay, The St. Louis Blues, they're going back home now. That game was on the road. They had won their previous 3 road games prior to that, but they go back home where they have played their better hockey this season. The Blues are 6-3 at home this season. The Buffalo Sabres 5-5-2, and they've had trouble with consistency. They've alternated wins and losses in each of their last 6 games. So if you're coming off of that pattern, well, that would probably mean the Buffalo Sabres are due for a loss here. I don't believe in the pattern, but I'm still going to stick with the St. Louis Blues here. The Buffalo Sabres are coming off that win over the New York Rangers, and then you kind of get slapped with a bit of a reality check here. Sure, they won the last 2 meetings against the St. Louis Blues, but I think right now the St. Louis Blues, I think, are just the better team. And Buffalo, while they've got those wins over St. Louis, they're still just 7-23 in the last 30 meetings between these two teams, 2-13 in the last 15 meetings in St. Louis. Got to take the Blues on the money line here. Up next, we head to the Canada Life Center where the Winnipeg Jets take on the Edmonton Oilers. And this should be a pretty good matchup between these two teams. And the Edmonton Oilers, well, they were starting to figure it out, and now they've gotten back on track. They've won 3 in a row, 6 of their last 9. They're coming off of a 5-4 shootout win over the Vegas Golden Knights in their last matchup, while they're catching the Winnipeg Jets on the heels of back-to-back losses following a 5-game win streak. But that being said, I'm still fairly high on this Winnipeg Jets team. They've had the upper hand on the Edmonton Oilers in a lot of recent games. They've won back-to-back meetings, including a 3-2 win in overtime earlier this season in Edmonton. And the Jets have also won 7 of the last 10 meetings overall. I'm still at a point now where I just still can't trust the Oilers goaltending. I know it's been better as of late, but Stuart Skinner, I'm really worried this guy's going to get overworked and he's going to start to struggle. And the Edmonton Oilers in their last 7 games, they've given up at least 3 goals in 5 of those 7. So I got to go with the Winnipeg Jets here. I like the price with the Winnipeg Jets. I think they're, like I said, playing some solid hockey. They play their better hockey at home. So give me the Jets on the money line at -102. Next, we head to the Mullet Arena where the Arizona Coyotes take on the Colorado Avalanche. I'm still trying to figure out when we're going to be able to get these value spots with the Arizona Coyotes because I do feel that they're coming. They are 5-4 at home this season, and they've won back-to-back games against some tough opposition. They went on the road and beat Vegas in Vegas, and then came back home and beat the Lightning 3-1. But they're going up against an Avalanche team right now that is just back to looking like the Avalanche of old. They've won 4 straight and 7 of 8. And head-to-head against the Arizona Coyotes, they've won 3 in a row in 7 of the last 10 meetings. The reason I'm not taking the Avalanche in regulation on the puck line is because 2 of them have been 1-goal games that needed extra time or a shootout. There's been a lot of 1-goal games in this matchup in the last year or two. But I think the Avalanche still win this one, and they are in better form. So wouldn't blame anyone for taking a regulation or a puck line play. My play here is just going to be taking the Avalanche on the money line at -192 and using it as a parlay piece. Next, we head to the Scotiabank Saddledome where the Calgary Flames take on the Dallas Stars. And, the Dallas Stars continuing to play solid hockey on the road. They're 8-1-1 on the road this season. They got a 2-0 win over the Winnipeg Jets in their last matchup. And now it's a bit of a revenge spot for the Dallas Stars after Calgary just beat the Stars, let me do some quick, 6 nights ago. 6 nights after tonight. But back on the 24th, they beat them 7-4. And earlier this season, the Dallas Stars won in Calgary again, 4-3. The road team has won 5 straight in this matchup. There's been a bunch of 1-goal games in there, so I expect this to be another tight affair. But like I said, the road team has had the bulk of the success. The Dallas Stars have had the majority of their success on the road this season, and we're getting them at a near coin flip price. I'm going to take it. Give me the Dallas Stars on the money line in this one. Next, we head to the Honda Center where the Anaheim Ducks take on the Washington Capitals. And, the Caps on the second half of the back-to-back here after taking down the Los Angeles Kings on Wednesday. And, I wasn't a huge fan of the spot for Washington before that game. I didn't think they were going to have, the best luck coming into this one. The goal scoring is still stagnant. It's a bit of an issue for the Caps, but the goaltending was great on Thursday, Charlie Lindgren definitely stepped up. And whether it's Darcy Kemper or Hunter Shepard here that gets the start, I'm leaning towards Kemper. I haven't seen him on any injury report. I think he's going to give the Capitals the edge here. And, that's not what the Anaheim Ducks need, considering they've lost 7 in a row. A lot of these have been, big victories on the other side. And they've lost 4 in a row at home as well, scoring 3 goals or less in each of those games. And they've been scoring 2 goals or less in 6 of the 7 games during this losing streak. So maybe look at the under, but I'm taking the Capitals -115 in this one. And our final game on the board takes us to the Rogers Arena where the Vancouver Canucks take on the Vegas Golden Knights. And you have one of the hotter teams in the NHL. Actually, I should say both these teams are some of the hotter teams in the NHL out of the gate. But a surprise team in the Vancouver Canucks taking on the defending Stanley Cup champions. And, the Vegas Golden Knights, while they are still the defending champs, like I said, the honeymoon phase looks like it's over for Vegas. They've lost 3 straight, 5 of 6 and 7 of 10. They're coming off of back-to-back extra time losses on a back-to-back, and no less than that time frame against the Calgary Flames, the Edmonton Oilers, losing those games in OT and a shootout. And the Vancouver Canucks, at home, they've struggled with consistency as of late. They've alternated wins and losses in each of their last 6, but they are 8-1-1 at home this season. I know the Vegas Golden Knights have had the bulk of the success in this matchup. They're 9-3 in their last 12 trips to Vancouver. But I gotta remind everyone, those games came a lot of the time when the Vancouver Canucks were a bit of a laughing stock in the last couple of years. The team that wasn't making the playoffs, really wasn't contending all that much. This Canucks team looks different, and I think that I can back them here at a coin flip price at home. I know the Vegas Golden Knights have earned probably the chance to have the benefit of the doubt in a spot like this, but they just haven't looked good in some of the last couple games. So give me the Canucks in this one at the coin flip price to round things out. That's it. That's all the NHL action for Thursday, November 30th, 2023. If you like this video, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Also, make sure you have notifications turned on to get the newest and most up-to-date content here at Pick Dawgz. And a reminder, if you're looking for my best bets, check out Pick Dawgz Premium. And if you're looking for more information on my late breaking info all access pass and to find out if it's right for you, make sure to text LBI to 775-636-7674. And also make sure to let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.